Hello there and welcome to Common Farm Flowers. I'm sounding a bit breathy this afternoon. My name is Georgie Newbery and I am a flower farmer and florist based between fashionable Bruton and up and coming Wincanton here in sunny Somerset. And today we're going to talk about using big-headed dahlias in a bouquet. I had a special request from one of my subscribers, so thank you very much for that. It's a good idea. And I did a little demo on the Instagram on Friday and went down a storm. And so since I have a little commission for a bouquet to be collected tomorrow, it is Sunday afternoon, I thought, well, while I'm at it, why don't I use the opportunity to make a bouquet to show you how to use these really big, look, lovely, here's some cafe au lait, size of a small house, or at least my head. Use some really big headed dahlias in a bouquet. Now, admin first. If you enjoy these clips, then do subscribe. Somewhere is a subscription button. Click the bell icon and we'll let you know when we have a new clip coming out. And if the tips and tricks I share on this little channel are useful, then feel free to buy me a coffee. Which would be very kind and really do support making of these films and sort of make me feel like doing it a bit more. So a lot of you do, it's very kind. The link for buying a coffee is in my bio. So you can click on it there and obviously you're not buying me a real coffee. It's just, you know, a little thank you, which really goes towards supporting making these films. Now, enough of the admin. Oh yeah, no, there is more admin somewhere. If you would like, I'm doing a full hand-tied bouquet workshop on the 17th of September, which is next Friday. It's a live session. You can book a place through my website. It is at, I think, 4:30 p.m. British summer time. So I'm going to do the full hand-tied demo and really show you all the details about making a hand-tied bouquet. So if you'd like to learn more about that or about how I do it, then book a place then. And if you have a thing about dahlias and would like to know more about dahlias, then if you're local enough to get here, I have a dahlia day on the 22nd of September here on the farm, and we'll look at all things dahlias, from propagating to growing to feeding to staking to everything in the morning. Then we have a lovely lunch at the Kimber's Farm shop up the road, and then we will spend the afternoon playing with dahlias and designing with them and having some fun making bouquets and things. So if you're here on the 22nd of September, do join me. Or we're having a dahlia session online on the 13th of October. Again, you'll need to book that through my website. And we will go through everything that I will go through on the day here, but obviously you won't be able to cut and play with the dahlias. But there will be an enormous amount of information, and they're always good, my online sessions. They're very helpful, and you get a recording and notes afterwards, which are useful. Right, enough admin. Let's get on with the matter in hand. Now, I'm going to make myself some space so you can see what I'm doing. You can come over here a little bit. There we are, we'll move you around so you can see me. So, what happens often is people grow beautiful dahlias. Look at that one, as big as my head. This is one of everybody's favourite cafe au lait, but they find them difficult to use in bouquets because, look, they grow slightly flopping down with their heads against the stem that they grow against. You see? Like that. How do you use them in a bouquet? People ask. Well, the skill is to hook your dahlia head onto the material. So pretend my hand is a hydrangea, for example, and then it will look out at you from the top of the bouquet. And you can do this with any different size dahlia, and it works extremely well. You'll see that my stems look quite long, but that's because I have pulled off the side shoots. People often worry, they say, but my dahlias are really short stemmed and I'm worried I don't want to, how do I cut them? Cut nice long stems and take off the side shoots. The dahlia won't mind. And you can see that this plant has been flowering since the end of July, and I've been cutting it quite hard, which is why I'm now getting nice slim stems, which are more useful to use in a bouquet. If you have not been cutting your dahlias much, then the stems tend to be fatter and more difficult to work with. So you've got to cut your dahlias. The more you cut them, the better, the more flowers you'll get. So quick. What you need to do then, if you're going to make a bouquet with dahlias, is take some strong foliage. So here I'm using the side shoots of my limelight hydrangeas, and it doesn't really matter, whatever you've got, for good strong foliage. It's the end of the season, so everything's feeling quite strong. I've got Physocarpus. You Americans would call this 9-bark. Great colour, great colour. Variegated cornus, you use it all the time. Apple mint, good. Everything's got really good strong stems now because we're mid-September. And so you can make a little, and this is obviously a great favourite. The bees absolutely love it. Good old sedum. And again, it gives you a really, really strong base if you want to hang anything over it. Ready, steady. So look, nice strong base. Floppy dahlia. Take your floppy dahlia and hook it. You see how I've hooked it onto the sedum? It's not going anywhere. It's absolutely held in place by the sedum. And so it's now looking upwards. It's really simple. And you can then do it again. Bit more foliage. Maybe some other bits and pieces. I think roses are very good with dahlias. And again, I'm supporting my whole system here with twin-stemmed roses. There's only one rosebud there that's going to come out. But look at that lovely foliage. It's great foliage, great action at this time of year. So in it goes, and I'm getting a really nice mix of foliage and roses and all sorts of bits and pieces. Let's have another dahlia. See, this one is facing upwards, and this is a smaller headed. It's still a cafe au lait, but it's a smaller headed one. So, but it goes really nicely with the original one. But I'm still going to hook it over because I want it to stay where I want it to go, where I'm putting it. So I'm hooking it over there. I have also, because you've got to mix it up a little bit, and this commission is this is a real bouquet that's really being sold to somebody. This one is Carolina Wagamans. Yes, she is. How beautiful is she? And again, I'm facing her into the middle of the bouquet. If I face her out, then when you're looking at the top of the bouquet, you'll see the back of her head. So I'm going to face her in exactly the same way as I've done with the cafe au laits. And I'm going to have a couple of those because I love them. And the peach is very, very good with the cafe au lait. It's a really nice mix. Bit more foliage, another rose. You see? And so all those dahlias are sitting quite happily with their faces facing outwards. They're not arguing. If you wanted to, if I was doing a flat back, which became more of a sheaf, then at this stage, I would literally start facing the dahlias and building the sheaf out. But I'm always facing them into the bouquet. Look, into the bouquet, not out, because if you face them out, you see the back of the dahlia head. Face them in. And I'm going to soften it because it's looking quite a hard, it's quite a hard mass of dahlias. So I'm going to soften it with, I've got some really lovely, it's lovely time in the garden. Cosmos, soft, a little wild looking, makes real space here. Another rose, and I use my roses really to support everything else. They've got good strong stems, so I'm weaving my rose into that cosmos and making it into something that's supporting everything else. Cobia scandens, cup and saucer plant. This time of year, very pretty. Again, floppy. So hook it over the other material and it will, and you can sort of tuck it in so that then you can see it. She says, there. Can you see the Kobe scandals there? There it is. And I got a few more of those. Let's have some Ami Visnaga. This was sown on the mid-April, direct sown in the ground. We are the equivalent, I must look this up, but I think we're the equivalent of zone 8B. I really shouldn't say that until I've checked it. We are sort of similar to the Pacific Northwest in the USA. Here, look, another Cafe au Lait dahlia. You see the side shoots? I'm going to take off the side leaves, but I'm going to leave those bouncy shoots because they're really attractive. And I'm just going to tuck it into the bouquet. And it's still looking upwards. You see? Coming on really nicely. I'm not going to waste these lovely Carolina Wagamans. Tuck her in. Again, facing into the bouquet so she doesn't get lost. You see? And we'll have another one of her because at the moment it looks as though I think I've got 3 there, which is actually good. 1, 2, and 3. So I haven't got a square, so actually I'm going to leave that. I've got my snapdragons have been amazing this year. I'm a really bad snapdragon grower, but these have worked really nicely. And there, out of the way you. And so I'm just going to use up the rest of my roses. So look at that. And you can see how the dahlias are not going anywhere. They're absolutely held up by the other material in the bouquet. I'm tucking the roses around the edge, just a few. It's a really peachy mix, this. I'm going to have the rest of my cosmos because that fresh lightness is very nice in the mix. I've got a little bit more of that Ami. So everything I'm going around the edge now is just supporting the dahlias in the middle. You can see how they're not going anywhere. They're absolutely solid. It's very effective, this way of hooking your material. And then I'm going to finish off my bouquet because actually that's big enough now for my client. I've got a couple more cobia. Stick in the side. I love amaranthus. I grow lots of amaranthus. And it's a really great way to finish off a bouquet. The weight of it. Look at those gorgeous hanging. And if you wanted to, and you don't want to lose the amaranth, you can hook that into the bouquet also. And you've got the tail of the amaranth going through the bouquet. It'll probably fall out because it's quite heavy, but this way I can tie it up and I know I haven't lost it. And the amaranth has got lots of lovely movement. One more. I'll just tuck you in there. This is where I just get bigger and bigger and bigger. But one more rose under that. Can you see? That has got 3 or 4 really good sized dahlias in it. They are absolutely not going anywhere. They're totally held up by the rest of the material. A couple more. Since I've cut them, I may as well use them. But all the time, and this is very good. This is Acidanthera, lovely scent at this time of year. They're not hardy, but they are, so I plant them every year and they flower 100 days after being planted. Look, very floppy Cafe au Lait head. But I'll face it into the bouquet, hook it in, just hook it in here, and it'll stay. because it's being held up by the other material. You see? A couple more pieces of mint. This is the most enormous bouquet. Not what I had planned at all. But there we are. And by hooking, if I get rid of all of this, then the light's going to improve. There we are. And by hooking all the bouquet, all the big dahlias, so that they hook into the bouquet like this. If I were the dahlia head, I would hook my head into it like that. And then you get a really lovely bouquet. I know that sometimes big dahlias can be really heavy to use in bouquets, but they're so beautiful. And I think sometimes growers grow them and then they're a bit wary of using them in their mix because they feel like they're overwhelmed by them. But actually, if you use this hooking over method, do scroll back and watch this again on slow motion. You'll slowly see, you'll begin to understand what I mean. But just cut those ends off. And there we have a very beautiful, though I say it myself, bouquet with quite a lot of lovely big cafe au lait dahlias in. I'm going to pop it in a vase. There we are. So, if you struggle with your cafe au lait dahlias or any of your dinner plate dahlias, this is a great way to use them into bouquets. There we are. Much longer clip than I had anticipated. It's annoying when I put it in the vase, you can't really see, because the point is that you look at it. So we'll hold it like this. If you have enjoyed this little clip, then please do subscribe. There's a subscription button. Click the bell icon and we'll tell you when we've got another clip coming up. You can always buy me a coffee. The link is in the bio. And if you fancy coming on any of my online or physical workshops here at the farm, please do look at the website and choose yourself a special treat and book yourself a place. Thank you very much. And I will see you soon. Have a lovely afternoon. There we go. God, I'm not sure it's big enough. You can see why I've got arms like hams, can't you? Because I do this all day. There we go. There we are. Goodbye, friends. I'll see you again another day soon. Bye.